won the International Prize of the Kids Lit Quiz. I mean, this is just unbelievable, and what a huge accolade for every single one of them that participated in this particular event. All right, let's talk to the team now. I'm going to ask you to... I've actually taken the wrong script. I'm going to ask Palesa if she doesn't mind bringing me the right script. I wrote notes on it and bring the wrong one. So I want you to introduce yourself to me, because I know that you are from the St. John's team. So who have I got next to me?
Hi, I'm Josh Bruwer.
Yeah? And you were in the St. John's team?
Yes, I was.
Congratulations.
I only entered this year.
Excellent. Well done. All right. And you are?
Hi there. My name is Khelan Desai, and I am 12 years old.
Congratulations. And, of course, I also have the librarian, Mrs. Nicky Sulter, who is obviously the lady behind preparing these young boys for this.
Right.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Very nice to have you. Congratulations to your team.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. You introduce yourself to me as well.
I am Hongjae. I'm 12, turning 13 tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Okay, and our final winning contestant is?
I am Sahaj Mooji, and I'm 12 years old.
Okay. And guys, you all wear glasses.
Yeah.
Is that, okay, let me just figure this out. Is that the secret to winning here? It's just reading so much that you actually just, your eyes just want to read more and more and more.
Yes.
We actually briefly considered calling ourselves 16 eyes because there's 4 eyes between the 4 of us.
That is amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm going to ask our teacher here first to talk to us about this competition and the importance of the fact that St. John walked away with a global and world title. I mean, that's amazing.
Very, very exciting. Yeah. We're enormously proud of these boys. It's a competition that is... there are 8 different countries around the world that take part in it. We go through regional and then national rounds in each country. Our boys won the South African national finals in February. Yeah. And so we then went forward into the world finals in Toronto in Canada exactly a month ago, in fact.
So it's exactly a month
ago that they won.
That is incredible.
Very exciting.
I have to shout at the South African media because we have not covered this. We really haven't covered this. I was looking for articles or things on how well we did, and all I'm reading about is Canada, who won it 2 years ago, and how the country was praising them, and yet we're not praising you guys. This is huge. We're always shouting out as a country that we don't read enough, and yet we've got the world's best. This has got to tell you something. How many books have you read for preparation to this? Speaking to your mic.
We actually don't have like a selected number of books that we have to read. It's mostly just guessing on what's going to come up and what isn't. So we don't keep track of what we read. So if I had to average I'd say about 3 to 4 a week.
3 to 4 books a week is how much you read?
Yes, about.
And you?
So last year I made it to New Zealand, so if I'm going to take that into account, I think 200 to 300 books in preparation for both quizzes.
200 to 300 books in preparation. That's how many you've read in a 2-year period?
Yes. Last year our team also made it to New Zealand. We came 5th there.
Blown away. And tell me about you. How many books do you read?
I joined last year. I will say about 3 shopping bags full of books and a bit more.
And a bit more. And you?
I will say the same as Khelan, probably 200 to 300 books.
This is insane.
Yeah.
You know, that's more than some people read in their lifetime. I don't even think people can name the titles of 200 books. How do you instill this love for reading inside these kids?
Well, fortunately, I've got many parents who are passionate readers and who have... These boys came prepared, as it were. Yeah. And then, because if you are not a reader to begin with, you can't actually take part in the competition. And then I just gave them some pointers as to what they should read, perhaps, because the quiz covers everything ever written for children, basically, across 2,000 years. So you've got mythology from Roman and Egyptian times. You've got things. There was a question on Aesop, who was a Roman slave. So there's a huge, vast array of questions that they are asked across the centuries.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
who would you say in this team? And I'm asking you this big question because I mean, there must be one of you who is like ridiculously clever when it comes to these books.
I would actually have to say Khelan because he is team captain. He was here last year. He did make it to New Zealand. And he's had around a year more practice than us all.
insane. So you are just, I mean, I could ask you a question on any book, and I mean, it's not just kids' books, right? I mean,
that is kids.
Is it only kids' books? I didn't know that.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I didn't know Homer's Odyssey was a kids' book.
No, well, yeah,
kind of.
It's mythology, that
mythology,
kind of
you
stuff.
name it.
So it's broad. I think that's all I can say, is that because it includes stuff that perhaps people wouldn't think was children's literature.
Exactly. I mean, I would never have thought that, and yet that's what you're reading. Okay, so here's a big question for you. Out of the hordes of books that you've read, what has been the nicest, most wonderful book that you think every child should read?
I would actually have to say on that, I'd probably have to answer A Monster Calls.
A Monster Calls?
Yes, by Patrick Ness, based off of Scythian Doward. I think I'm pronouncing his name. Yeah, Siobhan, thank you.
Thank you for correcting it.
Thank you.
That's terrible. I mean, how did you get that wrong? I'm joking. I am joking, because I've never heard of that. But that is just phenomenal. What about you? The one that's read 200 to 300 books in a year?
I can't really put my finger on a favorite book. However, I do have a series. It's called Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare.
Yeah?
It's quite a famous book. It was a series of books. It was adapted into a movie, in fact.
Okay, so that's the book you recommend.
Yes.
That all kids should read. What about you? What do you think?
I recommend The Ocean at the End of the Lane. It's written by Neil Gaiman, who's one of my favorite authors.
Yeah? Beautiful.
It's really good.
That's a good book. What about you?
I recommend Word Nerd by Susan Nielsen, and in Canada I wrote a speech about it and I said it in front of the teams in the gala dinner.
Yeah? And how did they receive it? Did they love it?
They really did love it.
Yeah. You know, this is a massive competition. I don't think we can emphasize it enough. I mean, because you have competitions here at home to qualify to get there.
That's right.
And this is happening all over the world. So just talk to us about the process. I mean, because obviously you now have to start training to keep up the world title for next year. So what do we do?
Right.
How do you work through this?
Okay, so towards the end of every year, we get a test from the quizmaster, who is Wayne Mills. He's a New Zealander. And it is distributed to all the schools that take part in South Africa. And we test the kids on what those questions are. And from there, I choose maybe 10, 15 boys from their results. And then, of course, we spend time together talking about books, talking about new books, talking about old books, classics, books they should read, books that they haven't enjoyed, books that they have enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then the big difficult part comes where I have to choose two teams of boys, which for readers I find really difficult.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not like a long-distance runner where you can see exactly who is up front there.
Yeah.
And I hate to leave anybody out because reading is what it's all about.
Well, it looked like you picked the right team to come and represent South Africa so beautifully. Do you remember, I mean, we're going to wrap up now. I know we've got just a minute or two left, but who brought the love for reading into you?
I think it was actually mostly my mom and dad.
Yeah?
They showed me this video of me when I was 2 years old reading a Winnie the Pooh book out loud.
Really?
And I had a good laugh at it. And I think that's really when I started.
1 or 2, you were reading a book out loud at that age, 1 or 2?
Yeah.
I'm feeling inadequate here. You guys are making me feel bad for myself. What about you? Your parents as well?
Yes, my parents.
When did you start reading?
They used to read to me from a very young age, probably when I was 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, it was me that started to read to them. And eventually I started reading to myself, and that's where my love of reading came from.
And you couldn't get enough?
No,
Just
definitely
couldn't get
not.
Your parents must spend a fortune on books for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great investment, it is. What about you? I mean, when did you start reading?
This is also my parents.
Yeah.
When I was, well, even right now, we have over 1,000 books at home. Some are imported from Korea, some are English books.
Yeah.
I remember in grade naught, I was in my classroom. I was just reading a book while the others played Lego and...
She was.
Yes.
And you? Let's just leave this with you.
I think it's more of my mum. She took me to the library every day in Cape Town, and she read to me, and eventually I started reading.
Beautiful. So, reading as opposed to TV, yeah?
No.
Okay.
No time for TV.
Okay, so you still got time for TV.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
are quite big fans of things like video games and
Things
TV.
like that.
We're still quite big fans of
Okay.
pop culture.
Okay.
Reading isn't the only thing we do. We do love reading, but
Yeah.
But you like
I
other
play
stuff as well.
sports. Others, yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, we're so proud of you. You're
you.
absolutely awesome. We can't tell you how proud we are of you. And I think you are the great, great pin-up boys for South Africa when it comes to reading and growing those brains of ours. So well done. All of you and your 16 eyes have done us proud. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And well done to you, teacher, as well. I mean,
Thank
what
you.
a fantastic accolade. So, the quiz, founded 25 years ago by New Zealand quizmaster Wayne Mills, and South Africa has participated for the last 14 years, and our guys won it. They're from St. John's. Well done to them. Such a pleasure. All right, I leave it there for this morning. Apelesa, you've got to be inspired. How are these guys? Aren't they amazing?
Surely, and they're incredible. I'm sitting here and listening to their story. Incredible. I think they put up a challenge to a whole lot of us, so we should start reading as well. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for having watched.